Hello. Welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz. I'll be guiding you on this journey. And this journey is going to be a little bit different because we're going to do a look ahead to 2024. I've been doing these readings and every single one of them has been so effing cool. And I love the vibe that is coming through with them. So like I said, it's more of like an overview for the year. It could be energy that you're feeling now. It could be energy that you're, of course, looking forward to. So it is a 7-card spread, and I'll just kind of go through what those 7 positions are, and then I might put a key just on this side of the screen. Maybe, I don't know. I'll try it and see how it looks. And if it looks dumb, I'm not going to do it. So if you don't see it, then it looked dumb. But, and if you're like me, you may not even watch the actual video, but more just listen to it and do a bunch of other stuff or play games on your phone or something. That's what I do when I watch videos or listen to videos. So it may not matter to you anyway, unless of course you do actually watch the actual video instead of just listening to it. So the first position is clarity, what your personal theme for 2024 will be. The second position is a horizon, what you can expect in 2024. Third position is strength, how to harness your inner power. Fourth position is sunset, what you're leaving behind in 2023. Advice, the lesson that you learned in 2023 is the 5th position. The 6th position is the obstacle or challenge you'll face in 2024. And then lastly, the 7th position is navigation, and that's guidance for the year ahead. So that's what we're going to do this time around. And great. So this is the reading for the 4-6, or the opportunist role model. If you don't know what your profile is, there's a link in the description below to get your human design body graph. And your profile is just one of many bits of information on there for you to discover. But for the purposes of these readings, we're going by your profile. So I'm sitting here and I'm like out of breath. What's up with that? I haven't been jogging. I haven't been running. I haven't even been walking up any stairs or anything. And I'm just sitting here fighting for my life. So maybe let's just take a couple deep breaths. So inhale, exhale. One more. Okay. That's better. It just needed some air in the lungs, I guess. So, anyway, here we are, breathing. I'm going to shuffle the cards a few times, or really just while I talk. I'm going to cut the deck twice. I'll take the middle pile, and we'll take the top 7 cards off of it. And then, of course, I'll go over what each position is. And I'll repeat it a bunch of times throughout the reading anyway. I know I usually have some blurb or like information about your profile or every profile that I found on the internet. And I do have that. I just didn't have it prepared for these readings. And I just don't think that, I think it worked out well, because I'll have them for the next readings. Anyway, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like that's it. Like, I feel like I'm missing something, but I can't remember what it is anyway. So I don't, if it comes to me, I'll share it, of course. So let's just shuffle a couple more times here and then we'll get started. Okay. 1, 2. Alrighty, so your personal theme for 2024 is the Knight of Wands. What you can expect in 2024 is the Page of Cups. How to harness your inner power is the 5 of Pentacles. What you are leaving behind in 2023 is the 8 of Pentacles. The lesson that you learned in 2023 is the Queen of Pentacles. A challenge you'll face in 2024, oh my gosh, is the Knight of Pentacles. Every single reading I have done except for, I think, 2. Okay, so half. I think I've done 4 readings already. This card has come out in this position 2 out of those 4 readings. But it's just so funny because anytime I have seen the Knight of Pentacles, the only position the Knight of Pentacles has been in is this position. Guidance for the year ahead is the Star. Have faith that healing is in the forecast. I love that. What a good card to have for like guidance. So we start with the Knight of Wands. And it says, sometimes you have to be willing to bend the rules a little. I'm like, I'm looking at this card and I'm like, are they sneaking out or are they sneaking back in? Either way, they're going through a window, right? So there's kind of this, was it Denzel Washington or somebody that said hustle in private or something like that? It's like, you don't necessarily need the opinions of other people. Just do it. Right? That's just kind of like the feeling that I'm getting from the Knight of Wands. I mean, maybe they are sneaking out of the house. There's definitely some sort of covert, undercover, they don't want people to know thing. And wands have to do with fire, but it's action. The actions that we take, it's the motivation behind the actions that we take. It's creativity, passion. How are we communicating those things? What actions are we taking towards those things? Right? So for this being in the personal theme of 2024 position, there's definitely passions or maybe even a creative project, something that really kind of either lights a fire under your butt or just, it kind of lights a fire in your gut, right? It's like following your passion. Nights can be a little impulsive in a sense, which, I feel like there's a time and a place for impulse, but it's like, taking calculated risk is kind of like more so how that feels. But it's also kind of like doing the thing, even if it scares you, like doing it anyway, even if you have to like sneak out the window, right? Like it's kind of like that thing of like not letting anybody stop you. And even going back to sometimes you have to be willing to bend the rules a little. It's about doing something your own way. Like you don't have to, of course, right? Like, it's nice to get inspiration, and we all do it, get inspiration from other people, but then turn it into your own way of doing things. Like they're going out a window instead of a front door. Well, why didn't you just walk out the front door? Because I wanted to go out through the window, okay? Because it's my world and whatever. But, like, point is, do things your own way if it feels good for you. Like, be a trendsetter, or be, like, set a new stone down in the road, or whatever, right? Start a new path. Anyway, I think you get what I mean. So I'll move on instead of beating a dead horse. And even to I want to just say, because this candle is sticking out to me, again, right, like following your flame, following your North Star, which is interesting that we have the star card out here. Doing what is best for you. What you can expect in 2024 is the Page of Cups, and it says, let yourself be continually surprised by this little thing called life. How very Prince. I think, one of the songs that he has, oh, no, it's close. I guess he does actually just have the words, this thing called life. Prince has been coming up a lot around me lately, so clearly I need to listen to some Prince. Maybe you too, but anyway, so Page of Cups. Pages are new energies, like they're usually like the younger, more naive. It's the newbies, right? Like it could be an apprentice or just starting something new. Cups have to do with our emotions. How do we feel about our lives? How do we feel about the passions and creativity, wherever we're putting action in? Like, how do we feel about those things? And pages are, like I said, they're new. So it's allowing this kind of new energy, like having a new thing to love. Imagination too comes through with the Page of Cups. Allowing your imagination to kind of just run wild, literally, expanding on what the possibilities are. Like they already have this cup that's full, right? So they already basically have the Ace of Cups. So it's like, okay, I have this full cup. What am I going to do with it? What are all of the ways that I can, either spread this love or invite more love into my life? And of course, love can be romantic, it can be platonic, it could be in business, it could even just be yourself, your self-worth, your self-care. Having fun, there's like a playful element that's coming through with it too. And even, these two together, your personal theme and what you can expect. Maybe you are finding, you have this desire, you have a spark within you. It's like you feel like it's time to take action towards something. So you do, because this person is in the middle of acting on leaving this room. And then in this Page of Cups, it's all of the possibilities. And also, all of the possibilities or opportunities even that pop up by you taking action. I love that. How to harness your inner power is the Five of Pentacles. It says nothing is ever as hopeless as it seems. And what an interesting card to have in the how to harness your inner power position, because the Five of Pentacles generally talks about lack and scarcity. They're clearly out here in the snow, feeling left out in the cold. This sign says safe haven. Here in this little house, it's pointing towards this little house. So it could even be, as far as how to harness your inner power, it could be building a community, finding a safe space. It could be using your experience in those areas. Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our physical time. Like, what are we spending our physical time doing? Where are we physically showing up in the world? It's also our physical health, our body, our vessel. And I want to read from the book. So it says, "Where, oh where do I go from here?" The distressed witch asks, her teeth chattering as she stumbles through the cold winter forest. If she would only stop to look around for a moment, she would see that only a few steps away is a safe haven that would be happy to keep her warm until the snow melts. You too may be in a similar state of despair, convinced that you've completely run out of options. It's almost as if you've accepted the fact that things will never improve for you. But that's just not the case. The fact of the matter is that there's plenty of support available to you through whatever loss or hardship you're facing. All you need to do is turn around and walk toward it. I love that. Especially being in a place of harnessing your inner power. Because it's like that chatter, right? Of like, things are hopeless, or maybe I've missed my opportunity, or, whatever the case may be. And especially coming after these two, it's like there is opportunity, there is something new available, but it's a matter of how you are interpreting it or how you are perceiving it to be. And also, we, in the northern hemisphere, we are in winter. So maybe this is also a message about almost like allowing yourself to hibernate in a certain sense. And because it mentioned, like they would allow you to come in until the snow melts, right? So it's like, it almost goes back to the self-care thing that we were even talking about over here, of not doing something, like allowing yourself rest, I guess is the point that I'm trying to make. Because there's going to be a time where, there's not going to be maybe as much ample time or space or whatever to get efficient rest in. Which I know feels like uncomfortable. It feels like you're not doing something, or that by not doing something, opportunities are going to pass by or something, right? Like, but we also can't pour from empty cups. It would even give you an opportunity to do this over here. Interesting. What you're leaving behind in 2023, I kind of love this because this is the Eight of Pentacles. It says, sorry, but fairies aren't going to come do all the work for you. Again, Pentacles, right? We have 4 Pentacles on the table. I guess we have like all of the elements out here too, which is nice. Like it's, balanced, but Pentacles, again, right, having to do with our money, our time, our physical body, literally anything that has value, which of course, we as humans do have this thing about placing value on ourselves and worth on ourselves and what we do and what we spend our time doing and all of that. So that's encompassed within the Pentacles. But the Eight of Pentacles is about putting in work, like the repetition that comes with mastering a skill. It's also recognizing that you have to do that, right? Like you have to put in the time, the resources, your physical presence into a craft or a project, your work, your health, in order to master that skill or make improvements or make changes, right? So I mean, every single one of these fairy houses are different on here too. So it's even kind of like finding your niche, like how do you like making fairy houses? What are your fairy houses? Right? Like, have you discovered a new way, a different way of doing it that you like better? But also too, I mean, the message on here, sorry, but fairies aren't going to come do all of the work for you. It's recognizing that like you are the one that's going to save yourself. You are the one that is responsible for the your own future, right? And it's like the work that you put in, where you show up in your life, is going to be what pays off. Like, what kind of return are you going to get out of it? And with this being in the position of what you're leaving behind, there is a mastery. Like, there has been something that you have discovered through putting in the work, either into yourself, into your work, into, whatever pentacles are for you, what you've been focusing on in 2023. Since you're leaving this behind, there has been some sort of discovery. There has been some sort of mastery, or, you've reached a skill level that you are comfortable with. And we move on to the lesson that you learned in 2023, which is the Queen of Pentacles. And it says there's no need to sacrifice. You can do it all. And I love how these two, they're like coming, quote unquote, like next to each other, because we go from here to over here. But again, right, it's even too like how it's like this showing up vibe, like putting in the work, and how it has paid off. Because, this sign says the witch is in. So she's clearly going into her office space, or, craft space, or whatever it is for her. But through like putting in this work, there has been this lesson that you don't have to necessarily just choose one thing. Or it is possible to do all of the things that you do want to do. The Queen of Pentacles, queens I see as when we recognize the energy of the suit within ourselves. Like we recognize it within ourselves, we learn how to work with it within ourselves, and then we can share it with other people. And that's where the King of Pentacles comes into play, because kings, people look to them for guidance. They usually oversee, they usually lead a kingdom, right? So there's been, again, this kind of self-actualization, realizing something about yourself. It could even be realizing your nurturing nature, because the Queen of Pentacles is very like mother henny. But again, like you're pouring that into yourself. You're recognizing your own worth. Whether that is what you bring to the table, maybe you're making that table, maybe you have made that table with the Eight of Pentacles. But it could be in your job. It could be in your relationships. And also too, since we do have this progression from the Eight of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles, there's this vibe of working smarter, not harder. There's a definite grounded aspect to it. You could have even found balance between rest, like I was even saying with the Five of Pentacles. there's, some sort of work and play balance. And then a challenge you'll face in 2024 is the Knight of Pentacles. It says, slowly but surely you are going places. I love it. And, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight out of the whole tarot. Well, I guess there's only 4 knights in the tarot, but it's the slowest moving card in the tarot. I can't think of anything else that would be as slow as the Knight of Pentacles. I mean, maybe the Hanged Man, because they're literally like in limbo. But anyway, the Knight of Pentacles, the message, the lesson with the Knight of Pentacles is that it's going to require dedication and commitment. Like, the time in the 3D where we are is a lot different than our own timetable, how fast we would prefer things to move or change or actualize or materialize, since we're talking about pentacles. So sometimes we get stuck in this, if it doesn't automatically or immediately or shortly after turn into or materialize in the way that we envisioned it would, then we see it as being a failure, or that it didn't work, or why am I wasting my time, or and the Knight of Pentacles says, no. You need to be dedicated. You need to be committed to the thing that you are moving towards, to the thing that you are building, to the thing that you are trying to materialize. And I can't remember, it was one of the other readings, it doesn't matter, but I was giving the example of my YouTube channel, because let's see. Yeah, actually, I think either sometime this week or last week would have been my 2-year anniversary. I think I posted my first videos December of 21, and they were for January of 22. And oh my gosh, like, I thought by the end of 2022, I was going to have like 10,000 subscribers, and I was going to be doing nothing but tarot readings all day, every day. It was going to take off, whatever, right? I mean, I had expectations, right? Like, I felt so passionate about and I still do, obviously, right? I love doing them. I was definitely nervous as hell. I thought they were such a mess, but I was like, I feel like I have to be doing this. So that's why I started doing it. I didn't tell anybody that I started putting them out. I don't think I told anybody for 3 months or so. And then it just kind of started coming up in conversation, where I was like, oh yeah, so I started a YouTube channel for tarot readings. Anyway, so by the end of 2022, I think I had 700 subscribers. And I loved that. I was so happy to have 700 subscribers, but I had an expectation that I was going to have like 10,000 subscribers, And, I was like barely having 10 people watch my videos, but, it felt good. Page of Cups. I just had to keep checking it, because I still loved putting videos out. I still love sitting here and doing the videos. I still love doing it. It still feels good. And it's even evolved. Like, the way that the videos are now look different than the way that they were. My confidence level is different than it was when I first started too. Only just a couple months ago, I got this intuitive guidance to only do human design readings. And I was like, I had so much anxiety about that because I think, human design is definitely getting to be more popular these days, but, being judged or blah, blah, whatever, just all that mind stuff. But I have had more response, like more comments, more engagement on the videos that do human design than I ever did on the videos that did zodiac readings or that I was doing for zodiac readings. So that to me says something. But also, like at the end, we're at the end of the year now, right? I think I have 800. I haven't looked. I haven't looked in a while, but I think I have like 820 subscribers. So my first year I did 700. My second year I did like 120. If I were to use that as a gauge of success, I would stop doing these videos because it doesn't match my expectation, what I thought was going to happen, right? And I would stop doing it. But that doesn't feel good to me. I can't imagine not doing these readings. And if that day ever were to come, then, I'll deal with that then. That's not now. I'm so grateful that I have those 820 subscribers. And my whole point, because we're talking about the Knight of Pentacles, is not giving up on something if your expectations aren't being met. Like, really be sure you're checking in on how it feels and continue to put it out there. Continue to do it. Continue to work on it. Even this Five of Pentacles being how to harness your inner strength, or your inner power, being under the Knight of Pentacles, like, interestingly enough, too, right? This is in winter. This is, there's flowers. It could be spring or summer. So there could be something that picks up more in spring or summer, which is interesting. I think it's interesting that these two kind of fell under each other like that. And the fact that this is how to harness your inner power and a challenge you're going to face. So again, if things aren't moving as fast as you want them to, don't use that as a gauge for success. Keep shining your light, right? Like, follow that gut feeling, the whatever it is that lights you up. Follow that and allow that to be the thing that keeps you dedicated and committed, because it's not about, even like, my YouTube example. Maybe eventually I will catch the algorithm. And maybe eventually I will have 10,000 subscribers. But for now, these messages are reaching exactly who they need to reach. I'm grateful for that. And I do still enjoy doing it. And if it's slow, it's slow. What are you going to do? So, dedication, commitment, keep moving forward. Slowly but surely, you are going places. You'll get there. And then we have the Star card for guidance for the year ahead. Have faith that healing is in the forecast. This whole process can be healing. The Star card talks about faith, hope. It's trusting the process. I love that it's coming next to the Knight of Pentacles too. I see the Star card as being that space between the 5D where we manifest and the 3D where we are. And literally the star is like right between. And it's, pulling down those manifestations into the physical plane where we are. And maybe that takes time. Maybe there's other things that it doesn't take that much time at all. It just manifests right away. So there's this trusting the process element that goes with this. Also, even with the Star card, there is a, center of attention being a star, you know, type of vibe to it. It's attached to Aquarius, so there's also like an innovative, thinking outside the box vibe with Aquarius. Even, you know, all of these cards that we were talking about, like worth, self-care, self-love, and all of that, right? Like having faith that healing is in the forecast. There's definitely, I mean, maybe you are on the roof with your sixth line. Maybe you're about to be on the roof. Maybe you're at a point where you are coming off of the roof. But there's like muck that is being cleared out here. Even following your North Star, which I'm not sure if that's even visible in winter. Is it? I don't know why I just heard in my head that that's not visible in December. I'm not sure if it is or not. Not that it matters. It's not like you're like, you know, the three kings or whatever following a North Star. But it's just interesting because when would the North Star be visible? Again, maybe I'll Google that. Anyway, but these two, following your gut, following your passion, following your desires, how does it make you feel? How do you want to even feel, right? Like expanding on what is possible for that. It's like everything to do with you. I love it, and I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.